Hey guys, welcome to another 360 Partners video. Today coming to you live from sunny Melbourne, free from a 3-month lockdown. So it's certainly a pleasant change to be able to get outside, and I believe the shops were smashed pretty hard yesterday, so it's fantastic for small business and for retailers to be able to get back into it and get operational. And that really is the topic of today's very short video. It's something that's probably not typically we would consider in our wheelhouse. It's not tax orientated. Today we're going to talk very briefly about COVID-safe plans for your business premises. So a new requirement came in Victoria, and I think it's probably the same interstate, on the 13th of September, that all businesses that are operating from a business premises in Victoria must have a COVID-safe plan in place before they're allowed to operate. So it is a mandatory requirement to operate your business now. Given we're all in pretty strict lockdown in Victoria on the 13th of September, and certainly in metropolitan Melbourne, I think a lot of businesses probably weren't aware of this and haven't addressed it. But as of yesterday, the 28th of October, now with so many more businesses allowed to open in Melbourne, this is a real issue. You must have a COVID-safe plan in place. And I suspect, given the significance of this, there's probably going to be quite a few health inspectors walking around and randomly attending business premises throughout metropolitan Melbourne, be it retailer offices, and just checking you've actually got some measures in place that meet the requirements. So the good news is it's not an overly burdensome process. The Business Victoria actually has a really good, simple template with instructions on how to formulate your COVID-safe plan. We're going to put it up on our website and Facebook there just so that you can download it. And I suggest you probably only need to spend no more than half an hour going through it. So there's 6 major principles for your business in terms of risk areas that you need to address. And I'll just briefly run through those. The first one is probably the most obvious: ensuring physical distancing of 1.5 metres between people that are on your premises at any point in time. That includes staff and customers and clients. So if you've got any bodies moving around your premises, 1.5 metres or more is what you want to keep people apart. So people are putting, if you've got a particularly high traffic area, people are putting stickers on the ground, obviously signage, and you can make people aware of that as well. So physical distancing is very important. Second one, wear a face mask. These are still mandatory in metropolitan Melbourne. They are no longer bandanas and that sort of thing, and scarves. You actually have to wear a proper face mask that covers your nose and mouth. I think the DHO's recommendation is that they are triple layer, but I don't know that there's any legal specification on what the mandatory requirement is for that. So face masks are mandatory for both your customers or clients and your staff, unless they have an exemption for some reason. Third one, practice good hygiene. So again, this is about keeping your hands washed with hand sanitizer or the proper process with soapy hot water. I think in most workplaces, people are having lots of hand sanitizer bottles around, whether it be the automatic ones, as we put in our office, or giving your staff members each hand sanitizer. But I would also make sure that you've got those available for your customers as well. And that also includes, from a hygiene perspective, the workplace being cleaned regularly. So that would mean that where possible, whether it's possible to have cleaners come in and do sort of super deep cleans regularly, in some cases that won't be viable, but there is a responsibility on the workplace, particularly with high touch points, to keep the place clean and sanitised. Probably raises the point, what we found, just keep as many doors in your office open as possible. The less things people are touching, the better, and just raise that awareness for people not to touch things if they can avoid it. Fourth point, keep good records and act quickly if staff become unwell. So I believe in Metro Melbourne, if you've got someone attending your premises for more than 15 minutes, you may have a requirement to log their attendance. Certainly it'd be wise to log when staff are going to be at your premises, and keep records of that. Obviously instruct your staff if at all they're unwell, they shouldn't be coming to work and they should be immediately getting tested, or they should be sent home if they're at all unwell and not be coming back to work until they've been cleared. Fifth point, avoid interaction in closed spaces. So if your business premises has a very open plan area, that's somewhat easier. If you've got lots of little offices and nooks and crannies, that's obviously somewhat harder. But it's just a matter of changing the behaviour. So for example, at our office, if we do have to have an absolute critical meeting, we're going to try and keep it out in our main reception area, which is more open, rather than use our meeting rooms, which are obviously more confined. But avoiding interaction in closed spaces means probably little areas like kitchenettes and that sort of stuff. You might just have to tell people, look, one in there at a time or something to that effect. Final sixth point for a COVID-safe business principle, create workforce bubbles. So that typically means, you sort of split team A, team B, whatever you want to call it, where you've got a select group of people that are sort of rostered and doing things at completely different days so that they're not going to contaminate each other if someone was to get sick. So they're the 6 principles of a COVID-safe plan in Victoria that you must have in place. Ensure physical distancing, wear face masks, practice good hygiene, keep good records and act quickly if staff become unwell, avoid interactions in closed spaces and create workforce bubbles. We'll leave a link up on our Facebook and web page to the template for COVID-Safe Plan. Make sure you've got it, make sure you make your team members aware of it. It is a legal requirement, and best of luck out there.